The revolution's begun. The time to stand up has come. We are the rocking of the throne. We are the rocking of the throne.
My name is Victor Tiffany. I'm with Revolt Against Plutocracy. This is a short message to supporters of Bernie Sanders. Did you ever wonder how Bernie went from frontrunner coming out of Nevada to getting crushed within a period of a week? Or conversely, how did Joe Biden, weak candidate, did no better than third place in those first three contests, go to frontrunner in a week later? Go back to 2019. Obama said he'd stay out of the primary process unless, this is a quote from an article, publicly, Obama's been clear that he won't intervene in the primary for or against a candidate unless he believed there was some egregious attack. I can't even imagine with this field how bad it would have to be for him to say something. Said a close advisor. There is one potential exception. Back when Sanders seemed more like a threat than he does now, Obama said privately that if Bernie were running away with the nomination, Obama would speak up to stop him. That's what happened. That was November of 2019. And after Nevada, Bernie Sanders had won the popular vote in the first three contests. Then, as NBC reported, looking for Obama's hidden hand in the candidates coalescing around Biden. And they reported, as Democrats begin to coalesce around Joe Biden as the moderate, by the way, that's a euphemism for neoliberal, moderate alternative to Bernie Sanders, there appears to be a quiet hand behind the rapid movement former President Bernie Sanders. And they reported, people close to Obama said the former president has been keeping close tabs on the race. They said the signal has been sent in the past 36 hours that he sees Biden as the candidate to back, and they don't need Obama to say it publicly or privately. And that's exactly what happened. And then, of course, the media collaborated. But before I get to that, South Carolina, that was the next contest. Why do you think Representative Claiborne, a black man, endorsed Joe Biden, who lied about participating in the civil rights movement multiple times? He endorsed Biden over Bernie Sanders, who marched with Dr. King, who got arrested protesting racist housing policies in Chicago. Why would Claiborne do that? Look at Claiborne's history. He's not like John Lewis, who came out of the civil rights movement. He basically got involved with politics. He wanted to be a politician. He got involved with the Democratic Party. He is part of the Democratic Party establishment. And this was a collaboration. It might be a conspiracy, but let's just call it a collaboration, a consensus among the party elite that Bernie Sanders had to be stopped. And that consensus was led by Barack Obama. He let it be known that the party had to unify around Biden. That's when Buttigieg dropped out and endorsed Biden, Klobuchar dropped out and endorsed Biden, and Elizabeth Warren didn't drop out. She stayed in the progressive lane and divided that vote to make sure Bernie Sanders couldn't defeat Joe Biden in enough contests going forward. It flipped things around. Those people, those days after Nevada and into Super Tuesday, are called by people on the Naked Capitalism website Night of the Long Knives, which refers to a few days of deadly Nazi purge when Adolf Hitler's rivals were eliminated, mostly murdered. Hundreds of people were killed in order to eliminate his rivals for power. So that's a little hyperbolic in my opinion. Was it a coup? That's still a little off base. Was it a theft? Now we're getting close. It was certainly sabotage. Bernie Sanders' candidacy was sabotaged. And the media collaborated. We have a lengthy article I'm going to link to below that shows how the media collaborated with the establishment, centrist Joe and the unelectable Bro, the role of the press in the Democratic Party, in order to make sure Bernie didn't win the nomination. It was massive. Remember in 2016, the same media folks collaborated with Clinton to support at the Clinton campaign's request to support and highlight the Pied Piper candidates, including Donald Trump. The Clinton campaign thought they could beat Donald Trump. So there is a collaboration between the Democratic Party establishment and the media, and that very lengthy article goes into tremendous detail on exactly how that worked in that period of time. This isn't a conspiracy. Again, it's a consensus that Bernie had to be stopped. Not because he'd lose to Trump, although that lie was told. I'll go into that in a moment. But rather because if he did defeat Trump as the party nominee, he would take over the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party would no longer be the neoliberal corporate party it has been since President Jimmy Carter. Instead, it would be a Labor Party, and that would cut off all the money, the cash flow coming from Wall Street bankers and corporate America into the party coffers. And the establishment just wasn't going to allow that. You can't lead a revolution within the confines of a counter-revolutionary party. And that's both the Republican and the Democratic Party are both counter-revolutionary. Also involved around that same time, going into Super Tuesday, was the so-called Big Tent Project. It's a super PAC led by Jonathan Cott. He was a former aide to Senator Joe Manchin. You don't get any more centrist than that and neoliberal than that. And they actually got almost $4 million worth of ads placed to argue that Bernie Sanders would be defeated by Donald Trump. And in fact, that's complete bullshit. It was just the opposite. Before coronavirus, we were trying to get the media to cover the fact that only Bernie could have possibly defeated Trump. When Trump had the wind at his back, when unemployment was very low, employment was very high. Right? No sitting president since World War II has been defeated with those kind of unemployment numbers. But Bernie had a much broader coalition than anything Biden or any other candidate can put together. So the fact is, the Big Tent Project was lying to the voters by trying to claim that Bernie was unelectable, that Bernie would be crushed by Trump. It was complete bullshit. It was just the opposite. Bernie was robbed. And so, Bernie supporter, I have to ask you, do you hire burglars to house sit for you when you're away? Do you hire kidnappers to babysit your children when you're out with your spouse or boyfriend or girlfriend? Because voting for Joe Biden is the equivalent of that kind of stupid behavior. Now, so if you're not in a swing state, this is a no-brainer, right? You don't vote for Biden. There's no reason to vote for Joe Biden. But what if you are in a swing state? And you know damn well if you vote for the Green Party, or you leave that ballot blank, as Crystal Ball's recommending, you just don't vote for president at all, you leave that line blank, or maybe you stay home, you risk re-electing Donald Trump. And he's the greater of two evils, right? Wrong. My next video, I'm going to cover how Biden is the bigger racist. Biden is more violent in foreign policy. Biden is a greater threat to democratic order than Donald Trump. And Trump is violent too. And Trump is a threat to the Democratic Party too. But Biden is the more dangerous of those two candidates. So you shouldn't hesitate because you think Biden should defeat Trump. You're misplaced. Your fear is misplaced. And it's been shaped by the narrative formed by corporate America. CNN certainly has Joe Biden's back, and they did from the very beginning. It's not just NBC. It's the Washington Post, it's the New York Times. They all collaborated to make Biden seem better than Trump. He's not. And I'll explain that in my next video. Thank you so much for paying attention. I appreciate your time.
Revolt Against Plutocracy won't just be covering the news about the necessary revolution in the United States. Sometimes we'll be making the news. If you want to stay on top of the revolutionary actions and strategies of grassroots, genuine progressives, and our allies, please subscribe to our YouTube channel today.